the YouTube, then I sound the old. Alex Vo, I really can't wait to introduce people to you. I thought you were terrific last time, so I look
thank you.
as well. Plenty of returning people, including Jeff and such.
So
as
on now, right?
I think we're on the YouTube right now, and it's probably a good time for everybody to give a nice round of applause to our host, Mr. Mike Langworthy, the host of the
Charmed by Patrick Langworthy. Pleasure to be here, and I am more amazed by the number of people and the variety of people that come to the show every time I do it. Chuck Roy, who is handling the tech and will be performing tonight, and deserves a round of applause as well for making this all happen.
Oh, that's so nice of you, everybody.
And super looking forward to his stand-up set, because God damn it, that guy is funny. I don't care what everybody says. You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome, Chuck. I've got your back.
There's a lot of it.
Monday night, time for another Zoom open mic with Mike Langworthy and a whole bunch of other people. We've got a guest set coming up tonight from a guy who's just back from Arkansas, where he got married. And in a stunning departure from Arkansas tradition, I don't think his wife is related to him by blood already. So, but we'll hear more about that when we get there. First, sure, I could, just do a lot of comedy right up front and kind of intimidate all the performers tonight, but this is an open mic. No really need for me to prove how funny I am. The Guinness Book of World Records really says it all. So I am going to
least funniest guy to ever host a show.
I have the record for being the funniest guy ever to host the open mic on Mondays in the Zoom room. So our first performer this evening was on the open mic last week. He was really funny, did a lot of really funny stuff. I don't know who this guy is, but it's not. That was Mikey Weil, I think. He's next. But first, please, a round of applause. Please, a round of applause.
We're going by phone.
For Michael. Oh.
We won't be able to cast it.
All
right, someone's audio is interfering. Someone's audio is interfering.
Excuse me, Alex. We need to mute some mics for people who are chatting.
Cool, thank you.
So Alex can do his set without an unwanted partner.
Right.
Anyway, Alex Vo, another round of applause.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. So, hi to the familiar comedians and also the new ones. I'm a cute comedian, but I also have a business. So let me show y'all my business,
Are you tired of draining Zoom calls? Want to take the day off but not use your precious vacation hours or sick time?
Then check out Zoom Decoy. Zoom Decoy, our technology that allows you to take a professional break from all those draining Zoom calls. Each is preset with different phrases for different situations, such as listening.
I am listening. That is a good point. Well done.
And technical difficulties.
Karen, can you please mute your mic?
Like what just happened last time.
Your mic is muted.
And we have ones for those comedy open mics in Colorado.
Ha ha ha, that is so funny.
And we have ones for people who say all lives matter even though it derails the conversation.
Karen, that's racist. Karen, that's racist.
So check out Zoom Decoys. Get your Zoom Decoy at zoomdecoy.com for only $9.99 per month. We zoom in so you can zoom out.
Oh!
Yeah.
Hi. So yeah, of course, that's my business. But of course, in the quarantine, sometimes like we kind of get to know ourselves a little bit too well. So I kind of want to give a performance to kind of show what internal dialogue looks like when you've been with yourself for too long. So it's okay. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
I'm gonna try again. Sometimes it's hard being a one-woman show.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Oh, you're great.
Excuse me, can I please talk to you for a minute?
Uh-huh, sure. You know, you look kind of familiar.
Yeah, you do too, but I just wanted to know, do you know somebody named, you know his name?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know his name.
I just wanted to let you know he's mine.
No, he's mine.
Had a enough. He belongs to me.
Boy, is mine.
I think it's time we got this straight. Sit and talk face to face. There is no way you could mistake. Boy, oh man, are you insane?
See, I know that you may be. Cause you're blind if you can't see. All my love is all it's everybody knows. He's mine, he's mine, he's mine, he's mine. I'm so sorry. He belongs to me.
So yeah, sometimes we're quarantined a little bit too long. So and then but I also, you know, even when you go dating with people and you're like kind of getting to know people for the first time, sometimes you want to take things a bit slower, you know. Some people are very quick to want to reveal everything about themselves through like online dating, but I kind of want an app that would help people through that, you know. So do you ever struggle with wondering, like, with a virtual dating situation, if you feel like your things are moving too fast, you want to take things a bit slower? And check out Zoom Blur. Zoom Blur is our state-of-the-art technology that allows you as much as you want at the pace you want to move at. So take your time, do that sexy striptease, you know? Go slow, you know? Because you know, when it comes time for the big reveal, boom, a Zoom. You go at the pace you want to go. Nudes are out, blurs are in. So yeah, guys, those cakes, you know? Take the time revealing what you need to reveal, you know? In fact, take it one step further. You know, you have that package, but you don't want to reveal it all at once. Just take your time, you know, to reveal how. So yeah, you know, Zoom is not just for, you know, masks are not just for covering up your mouth. You can also cover up over Zoom as well, you know? Check out Zoom Blur today. Awesome. Thank you all for having me tonight. My name is Alex Vo. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, come on. Let's hear it for Alex Vo.
Yeah.
You don't just laugh, you learn, you see production values. You're not going to see this on the other open mics out on the market. You're not going to see this. You're just not. It's not. Well, Alex comes to us from San Diego, by the way. So when I say that people come from all over because of the Displaced Comedian connection and a little bit of word of mouth, yeah. People are saying, what? Langworthy's back in comedy? How do I get on this show? And it happens in my head. But our next speaker is someone who's going to also multimedia-ize us. I won't say any more. I'll let him do it for us. Please welcome, if you will, Mikey Wild. I hope it's Wild. Is it Wild?
It's Wheel, but it's all good.
I'm sorry. I got a guy named Ed Smith, but it's Smythe. You know, I'm not good with names.
It's Vile in German, so you got the German pronunciation right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Mike. I usually, you know, I like to do piano and guitar in my stand-up, but it's not easy to bring to open mics when you have about 3 minutes. It's not worth setting up for, so very excited to be doing that right now. So I was gonna do some piano and one-liners. How does this sound? Can you hear it?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear it.
Cool.
It wouldn't hurt our feelings if it was just a little bit louder.
Okay, I can turn it up. Right there?
Perfect.
All right, I was working on enunciating. dad's Jewish. My mom's Catholic. I like to say I was baptized and circumcised. Or I tried calling the Pope. I just want to say hi. He wouldn't pick up my calls. He wouldn't call me back. I went to Vatican City and I said, Pope, why don't you return my calls? He said it's because my phone is Roman. My nickname was Clint Eastwood in high school because I had curvature of the penis. I saw two witches making out in Salem, Massachusetts. I yelled, "Get a broom, you two!" They say you must love yourself before you love anybody else. So I learned how to do that. Then they said if you love somebody, you gotta let them go. And that's the story of how I got fat. I once masturbated with stress relief lotion. I opened up a black hole somewhere in the galaxy. I used to get high and I'd go for long drives. I used to get so lost I'd have to use my GPS to get home. I called it going for a TomTom cruise. I have a lot of dreams. I want to create a hand sanitizer that takes care of the 0.01% of germs that are missed. Mouth people. I want to get a tattoo of a tissue on my hand so I can wipe the tears off of gangsters' faces. I'm working on an anti-relationship book. It's called Men Are From Mars and Women Are From a Place They Should Prefer to Go Back to. Aliens are great in bed because they come in peace. The longest sentence ever recorded in English is every time a white woman goes to Starbucks. Thank you. I told that joke at a show recently and a woman came up to me. She said, "Hey, how do you get back to the highway from here?" It's been 50 years and still nobody knows how to get to Sesame Street. Kermit the Frog always wears condoms. Kermit the Frog, he has safe sex. His condoms are ultra riveted for your pleasure.
Hello! Hello, bravo! 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 Encore!
Kermit the Frog. When you find out that your friend is a vegetarian, a vegan, you kind of want to shut him out, right? It's a lot worse when you find out that your best friend is now a bicyclist. One of those people buys all the outfits and they go for long bike rides. It's kind of like losing a friend to a cult, except this time you cut off all communication with them. Your family was so poor growing up. The only pets you had were dust bunnies. What is the difference, or what do Diane Lane and a fine bottle of wine have in common?
What?
I don't know.
They both get better with age, and they're both stored in my fridge right now. Lou Bega, the guy who sang Mambo No. 5, he had a flood in his basement recently. The plumbers went over, and they had to move around the meat lockers in his basement. Inside of those meat lockers, they found a little bit of Jessica, a little bit of Rita, a little bit of Harry. Lou Bega, Mikey Wheel. Thank you very much. Gonna give it back to your host. Mike Langworthy.
Mikey Wheel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can play at my wedding anytime.
You got it.
Thanks. So we're on a roll. So I'm going to stay out of the way here and bring our next performer on, another new person to the open mic. And I hope that she'll come back many times. I don't know why I said that. I guess I'm just currying favor. I hate myself sometimes. Anyway, sometimes. That's a hot one. All right. Anyway, please welcome, if you will, Paula Maddox.
Hello. Well, thank you for having me, everybody. Let me give a thanks to the host for putting this on every week. And you're in Colorado, so that's cool for me. You know, I've never been to Colorado, so hey, thank you for that. Before I start, I really need to thank my internet sponsor. My neighbor is a sponsor of my internet tonight. And I need to thank him for not knowing that yet. It's turned off. We know why, right? Oh man. I tell you, it's crazy out here nowadays with the quarantine and all the lewiness that's going on. And I've decided that this time I'm courting a new addiction. You know, I figure this time I'm gonna pick the addiction I picked up instead of last time when it snuck up with me on the donuts. You know, that wasn't cool. Who knew you can get addicted to donuts? Like, I didn't know. Fucking sucks. So my new addiction is these Zoom mics because it ticks all the boxes for me and I can perform in a box. So, you know, that's cool. I like that. It's nice. My kids don't like it though. You think millennials are bad? Try a millennial baby. Fucking suck. Oh my God. They don't like me doing Zoom mics because come to find out, no, they don't like hearing about their stupid shit. You know? I didn't tell them to be dumb. Did you guys know how long it takes to raise a dumb out of a kid? Fucking forever. At least that's what my dad says to me. So bad. So I'm hiding in my room all the time. You know, and that's not a good look to hide from your kids, you know. That's kind of rude, you know. Yeah, I tell them, you better stay away from all the comedy, you know, if you guys are really good and it could fuck my kids up, you know, and that's mommy's job, you know. Like, it's one of the perks, right? But I haven't been neglecting them, you know, I'm just ignoring them. And I kind of do that just to see if they'll use their legs to find me. You know, it's kind of exciting. What will they do? Kids are brats, you know. But I did notice that I might have a problem with these Zoom mics. You know, I'm doing them all the time. And I coincidentally noticed that I've been binge watching that show, Intervention. Is it a bad sign to binge watch a show about addiction? Oops. It's all right. These Zoom mics are great. I'm really enjoying it. But I think I did a little too much too fast. And in fact, I think I broke my woofer. Do you guys know what your woofer is? We all have one.
No.
No.
It's that thing inside you when you go to take a hit or you're about to hit that and you're like, woo! Yeah, I think I did too much too soon. I think I broke mine, you know, with the mic. Well, think about it. A regular mic won't be satisfying anymore. You know, after doing 4 or 5, 6 a night of these Zoom mics, like, you know, and it could kill you for real this time if you go out and do it too soon. You know what I mean? Like, that's too much fucking pressure. I'm literally not going to die from my art. You know what I mean? Not cool. Not cool at all. But I had a weird situation the other day. I'm a nurse and I work in the country, like the real country. And I had to go find a patient at a gas station. But, you know, you do what you got to do. So I go into the gas station and I see on the counter there's these candied crickets. And I'm like, that's got to be a gag joke. And the toothless cashier lady, she looks at me and she goes, no, that's for real. I said, what the fuck's up with that? She's all, they're trying to get us used to seeing bugs as food. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. She's all, we're having a meatless future. Haven't you heard? I'm like, now how does this lady, who probably when she divorced her husband, she was still his sister, you know, how does she know this shit? It's just confusing in the middle of fucking podunk. So I went out to my car and I got my phone and I signed up for farmersonly.com.
Right.
because I'll suck a dick before I eat a bug. So bad. So tell everybody to stay safe. Take your birth control. We don't need no corona babies, and stay out of the parenthood. Thank you for the time, you guys. I'll give whatever's left back. Oh, I did it on time. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Hey.
Thank you.
Nice job, Paula. It's good to know what you'll do before eating a bug. It gives the people hope, Paula. It does. I'll be honest with you. Very funny. Before you go away, where are you?
I'm in Humboldt County, California.
Humboldt County. Oh, God.
Yeah, I have to say Humboldt instead of Eureka because it's the only cool thing about me is I'm from Humboldt.
How many people have you actually seen murdered over pot farm? But I'm not going to do it.
I was out on that mountain looking for a patient. I was literally on that fucking mountain looking for an Okie.
Oh, that's amazing, man. I'm glad to see that you made it alive, in and out. Because I hear that they have like a militia up there. It's like crazy.
And I was in a Fed car. I was in a Fed license plate car. I'm like, you couldn't have given me a county car? Like, you have to send me in with the Fed license plate?
It was like putting a bullseye on the top of the car. But anyway, I'm really good to see you. I'm glad. I thought you were really funny. I look forward to seeing you again. Alex obviously thinks you're so funny. He wants to be on camera just to say so. And, I am going to bring Jeffrey Burden up now. He's also been on several of our mics before. He's been been funny is what he's been. So here he is again. Please welcome Jeffrey Burden II.
All right.
Whoa, thank you. Thank you so much. You give it up for our wonderful host, Mike Langworthy, everybody, and Chuck Roy as well. Wonderful. I appreciate it. Hi. Trying to get a look at all the faces here. I've got it on that multi-screen view, get the reactions from everybody. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. The heart of it all. Not so much. Just a lot of cornfields and hills. Something freaky happened to me this morning. So I'm still sleeping, and I'm having this dream. I'm on top of my roof. Our 4-year-old toddler, you might have seen him. He walks onto the roof and jumps off of the roof, lands on cement. I wake up. Heart's pounding. A few minutes later, I'm downstairs, and he's got his video game, and he's playing this game called Roblox. Yeah? Anybody familiar? Roblox. And in this game, his character is jumping off the cliff and landing on the ground.
Oh.
Why am I telling you this? I do not have a funny opener. Still working on that one. Still working on that part, everybody. Just trying to improvise into the beginning. So that was a minute and 45 seconds, give or take a few. Huh? I'm a meditator. I got to meditate. I have to meditate. I love it. The biggest thing it does for me is re-energize me, right? It re-energizes you. I do it twice a day, 20 minutes each time, transcendental meditation. And it's also supposed to de-stress, but I still get a little tense. I'm very klutzy, very clumsy, very not tech savvy. I was with my friend a while back, and I'm trying to get a pic of us together, right? And I can't get that perfect angle. I got this thing going on like I have some sort of, gross motor control issue, right? And my friend says to me, all right, you got to get this right. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, we're starting to look gay. I didn't know what he meant. What does looking gay mean? I don't know. I wouldn't like it. he said it like I asked if he wouldn't mind to look gay in the picture. So but I go deep with these statements, this issue of homosexuality, right? I go deep. I'm like, why? Who cares, right? How do you know you wouldn't like it? How do you know you wouldn't like it? For the longest time, I wouldn't eat sushi, right? Friends would say to me, I love sushi. I'm like, really? How do you do it? So I'm at this restaurant that happens to specialize in sushi. And my friend's like, you got to try the sushi. It's delicious. I'm like, nah, I wouldn't like it. He says to me, come on, you got to try it. I'm like, okay, fine. So I order, I get the sushi, the wasabi, the soy sauce, the ginger. I put the ginger on top of the sushi. I put the wasabi and the soy sauce. I mix it around and I put it in my mouth. It's amazing. I could eat sushi every fucking day. Every day. That's how gay works. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody's like, you shouldn't talk like that. You're not a homosexual. I know what it's like to enjoy a slippery orifice. Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. Thank you so much. You've been lovely. Have a wonderful evening.
A lot of people don't have the courage to do their entire set on a security cam in a parking lot, but Jeffrey goes the other way with it. He says, you know what? Fuck it, man. Every second of the frame is going to be on camera, and the rest of it is you're just going to wonder what he's saying, what he's doing. It worked like a charm. It worked like a charm. You know, Chuck, I know that you're in the background on this and you'll be performing later, but I was just wondering if maybe there was anything that we sponsored here in addition to just making opportunities for comics. Is there?
You know, Mike, there is something we sponsor here, something very important. And we want to thank Jessica for being the first to purchase a Comedy 101 Education Supporter Ticket. Thank you, Jessica. Those are super brand new and something I'm working on with Stacy, who I'm going to introduce everyone to. Stacy works with a great charity that I love to support, and she's going to tell you about the kids, and what we're trying to do is just get money right to Stacy so we can get technology into kids' hands who need it. And then here's something cool about that Education Supporter Ticket. We're also trying to fund comedians attending some workshops that help Stacy so we can create open education resource content that groups like Stacy can use to put on comedy writing workshops for the youth in her organization. So it's open and available to everyone. Some really cool, innovative things. I'm known for flipping the classroom, and now I'm going to try to flip the price on classes, pay comedians to show up and apply their skills to things like Stacy's cool events. And Stacy, if I can pass the baton to you, can you tell everyone about Elevating Connections, your wicked awesome charity, and the work that you do and why it's important, especially with back to school coming up?
Absolutely. Thank you, Chuck. As always, I'm so honored to be here and be part of this fun night and comedians making us laugh while we raise the money for my organization. So our organization, Elevating Connections, is 5 years old, and we have two purposes. One, we reunite siblings that have been separated in foster care, which is the thing. After they have been abused and neglected in their homes, they're moved, and sometimes they can't be together. And so we reunite them at summer camp and connecting events and throughout the year. And I do some legislation around it. I do advocacy and education. And I just want you to think about that for a moment while I tell you about the rest of what we do. What it would be like to be separated from the 1 or 2 or 3 or 6 people that you should be closest to from childhood through the rest of your life. And then the other piece that Chuck was talking about that he's been instrumental in helping us with And Mike is very instrumental in helping us with this as well, is youth voice. So we work with older youth who've emancipated out of foster care or the juvenile justice system, where they're runaway and homeless youth, and they're looking to find their voice. And we're helping them do that through spoken word, through song, through art. And I'm so excited because we are going to add a comedy component to that. And we're very much hoping with Chuck's help to have another live show in November, which coincides with the National Adoption Month and Runaway and Homeless Youth Awareness Month. So could not begin to say how excited I am. If you would have told me 5 years ago that part of my programming would involve incredibly talented comedians with really big hearts helping my youth find their voice, I would have been like, oh, okay. And here we are. And I couldn't be happier. So thank you so much.
Awesome.
Oh.
Nice work. Nice work.
Yeah, thank you. I would just like to put in a quick plug myself for something, if you don't mind, Chuck, before we get on to the next.
Please do, Mike. Do plug yourself.
Well, it's not me. It's a, well,
Plug yourself, Mike.
here's what it is. Here's what it is. And you decide whether I'm plugging me. Okay? Why don't you guys be the judge? You judge me anyway. Might as well judge me about something. Anyway, my daughter loves musical theater. She's 24 years old. She's charming. She's a lovely person, loves to sing, loves to act, loves to dance. She also has special needs. She's involved in a theater company called Magic Moments, which is based in Denver, and which is the reason that our family moved here, to give her an opportunity to pursue her dreams. And every year they put on a musical that is a what would you call it? A pastiche of repurposed lyrics attached to ASCAP and BMI hit songs. So all the music is really top notch every time. And there's also a story. I've been writing the script along with a couple of other people for the last several years. So that's where the plug for myself comes in, I guess. But anyway, they have large cast shows. They're always in the area around spring break, which apparently is a year long this year. And they were 2 weeks away from production when everything shut down. And so my daughter, who had a leading role in the show, had to miss the show this year. So it was unfortunate, but I digress. My point is that they have about between 150 and 200 people in every production, and they make it work. There's a bunch of people who are really young, between the ages of 4 and 10. There's somewhere between 40 and 60 people who have special needs that range across the entire spectrum of special needs. And there are a lot of people who are really talented singers, dancers, and actors who flesh out the cast. And every year I've gotten great feedback from the people who have gone to see the show, and larger and larger numbers of people that I know in Denver have been going because they've heard from me and from other people that have gone to the show. So one of the things that we support with these shows is helping to support that process, which gives people with special needs a chance to feel not just included, but equal in importance to all the other people in a theatrical setting. So it's been great for my daughter, and it's been great for all of the special needs and all of the not special needs people that I know who've been involved in it. I hope that didn't take too long.
That was, well said. I've seen the show. It's terrific. And I think the common point, that the comedians here, audience, and others can relate to is it's about providing people an opportunity to use their voice.
Yes.
Our comics here, you want to try your jokes. We love being able to provide you a platform. And our audience, I think, really enjoys watching you try. So, we'll get right back to you all and your terrific comedy.
Yeah.
Mike, I know you have a lineup set.
I do have a lineup. I'm all set. I'm all set with the next performer.
Forward.
Here's one of our regulars that we've missed the last few weeks because he went back to Arkansas to get married. Some kind of anomaly in the laws of Arkansas that made it a little bit easier for him to get married there than it would in the rest of the United States. Maybe he'll don't know what it is. I wouldn't want to presume. But bringing brand new meaning to the term sister wife, please welcome, if you will, Beth, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did pull it off. We pulled off the wedding. We did cut it down from 200 to about 30 people. And a couple months ago, we had to make those calls and, let people know it was only going to be family and the wedding party. And everyone just sounded really relieved. Almost insultingly relieved. But I felt bad. I felt bad that when we told them that we were going to be airing the wedding on Zoom, that they had to pretend to be enthusiastic about that. Because I feel like, a big part of traveling to a wedding is the free alcohol. And now we're asking them that we'd prefer you just watch it from home and bring your own beer, and please still no children allowed. But yeah, we did it in Arkansas, and I survived barely. And it wasn't because of COVID. It turns out it was because of the heat. If you wear a suit in the middle of the day in the middle of Arkansas, it's going to be uncomfortable. And we were taking pictures with the wedding party before the ceremony in this big open field. It was really hot. Everyone was sweating. And as I was standing there, I was like, I wonder if we can postpone this till December. But we finally made it home, back to work, and I work from home already. I used to do this joke about working from home and how the best part was the people. But then the pandemic happened. I have a lot of coworkers with kids, and they've been talking about how it's been tricky keeping them entertained. But has anyone been in quarantine with an extrovert? It's kind of like there's an HR department in my living room now, because every time I wander out for coffee, they're like, how are you doing today? Do you have any questions? And your manager and I were talking, we prefer you dress more professionally during the day. We're catching up on TV, and we're watching some classics ever since we got Disney Plus, and we watched the original Cinderella a few nights ago, which, the story of people meeting one night, falling in love, and living happily ever after. And my wife was like, that was beautiful. And then she got a text, and she found out her friend Jane, who lives in Denver, flew to Florida to meet their friend Jeff for the first time ever, and now they're moving in together in Denver. She's like, that's ridiculous. I was like, I thought you said that was beautiful. You need to pick one. We got home. I thought my dog would be happy to see us. And they say when dogs make direct eye contact, they're sort of showing you how much they love you. But when we walked in and I made eye contact with him, he was just like, I thought you moved out. We used to go on a lot of double dates before the pandemic, and I'm glad those are done. The thing about double date couples is they want to plan these things too far in advance. Like if they saw you on the street, they would run up to you and be like, are you busy 7 weeks from next Friday? Yeah. This one couple we knew wanted to go to Nuggets game. They planned it so far in advance that by the time it was game day, they were divorced. It's uncomfortable for me. I mean, we liked them both, and we didn't want to pick sides. And also, I bought the tickets. And, I didn't know how to handle that Venmo request. Thank you, guys. This has been a lot of fun.
Oh, Evan, welcome back. Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. So anyway, happy to hear about the wedding. I'm glad you survived it, barely or otherwise.
Thank you.
To seeing you again, and I think you dress very professionally for a guy who works from home.
Thank you.
Hard pressed to put on a shirt, much less pants. Next performer is, I don't know if he's originally from India or not. He could originally be from Cincinnati for all I know, but he has an Indian. And when I say Indian name, it's not the name of something that somebody saw when they pushed the window on the teepee out when he was born. It's actually the subcontinent. And Chuck, who is in so many ways is a great producer. I mean, just I couldn't even remotely do the show without. I wouldn't even be interested in doing the show without him.
You have to remotely do the show. Wear a mask, Mike. Be safe.
I didn't realize that. Where I was headed with this originally, before we were sent down the non-comedy road, was Chuck has actually given up on even trying to write Sukumar's last name, much less pronounce. So I'm going to give it a shot. I did it right a bunch of times in a row, and then I did it wrong the last time that I introduced him, and I felt very embarrassed. I did, because it's racist. Let's just be honest about it. Sorry. Hey, stop it. My thing is going off here. I was timing.
Trying to keep your intros down to 4 minutes.
Oh, I was trying to get my intros down to 4 minutes. That was cruel. Bravo. Bravo. You've made another human being feel a little less valuable. Good thing. At any rate, please welcome. By the way, none of these intro times count against their time. Stand up.
You do you, Michael.
DJ Aragavan, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so when I came to this country from India, Mike, I knew I wouldn't have a problem with English, but what I didn't realize was a lot of the British idioms that I grew up with don't travel across the Atlantic well. So a week or two after I came to the United States, and I was in San Diego at that time, I was in the bar with a group of friends, and I realized that I had run out of cigarettes. So I looked at my friend who was about 20 feet away and yelled at him, pretty loudly, saying, "Hey, buddy, can I bum a fag?" And there was a brief silence, and then the bartender turned to me and said, "Yes, you can, son, if the cops don't catch you." A few days later, I was meeting with this person at a coffee house, and we got along very well. And so, I said, we should do this together, do this again. So give me a tinkle on the blower. And there was a brief moment of silence, and he looked a little offended. And looking back at it, I realized that tinkle on the blower sounds like something that Trump might have asked of his Russian prostitutes. So then about 2 weeks after that incident happened, I was in front of a grocery store in San Diego when this guy pulled up in a Porsche, rolled down his windows and just started yelling a whole host of racial stuff at me for a full 40 seconds. Now, if I was having trouble with idioms, I must tell you that innuendo is completely lost on me. In fact, I really did think that friends with benefits meant two people with a 401k. I thought that Netflix and chill just meant watching a movie when you had the flu. And until recently, I thought that the Mile High Club actually referred to a Denver sandwich. But this guy launched on this huge tirade, and a lot of it was standard stuff. Go back to where you come from. You're a fucking asshole, and so on and so forth. But he said a few things that completely was lost on me. So one, he called me a sand nigger, and my first thought was, how did he know that I was coming from the beach? And then I thought maybe he thinks I'm an African American from Florida. Maybe they look different. And then he ended up with this calling me an Iranian piece of shit. Now, Well, there are two things wrong with that, which I wanted to point out to him. One was that no, I'm not Iranian. And secondly, it's Iran, not Iran. Though the way he said it accurately described what I did next. But I remember thinking how un-American this was. Not the racism stuff, that happens all the time. But the fact that I always thought that Americans worked hard and were good at what they do. And this guy sucked as a racist. A little bit of effort, he could have been a quality racist. And so that got me thinking. So I proposed a whole course for all kinds of bigots to see you. And this is a master's level course, and I call it the Master of Bigotry, or the mob, to be short. And this is going to be a stringent course. It's a 2-year course. And the first year they do all the general stuff, right? You learn about history, you learn about geography, learn how to pronounce the names of the countries you hate. And like last year, Trump called Nepal nipple, and he called Bhutan button. So to avoid all that stuff, you get basic geography and history lessons. But then once you've all done with this, in the second year, you start specializing in the kind of bigot or a racist you want to be. Okay, for example, then you take courses that are appropriate for that endeavor. So, for example, if you want to be a white supremacist, you take courses in cross-making, how to do controlled burns, and Laundry 101 with the emphasis on bedsheet management. So the point is that once you graduate from this course, you then become an accomplished racist, right? So you're good at what you do, and it might actually make racism more acceptable to the general public. So that's my set. I'm going to stop at that.
Hey.
Yeah, I guess that's the public service that you're doing then, is what you're saying. In kind of a, well, it's a way. Properly chastised about my long and gracious introductions, I decided to be rude and short, and please
welcome.
Wait, what?
You're on.
Oh, thanks. I didn't hear you, Mike. Sukumar, every time you do a set, it makes me hate you a little bit more, but I still love you. That was really good.
Thanks, Christine.
I mean, they say that you're not supposed to have envy, but luckily I'm not a Christian, so I don't live by the Bible anyway. So, it's fine.
You're also not supposed to chew gum. That's another big one.
I'm not chewing gum, Mike. All right, you guys, just a few things that I thought about. By the way, Mike and Chuck, thank you every Wednesday, every week for doing this, Mike. Sorry. Okay. I'm going through menopause. Sorry. Have you ever woken up in a cold sweat and realized it was a warm piss? Because I did that a few times. My dad said when I was a baby that I made him gag when I had shit clear up to my shoulder blades. I would like to say that I still shit the same way. So I mean, I just shower, so it's fine. I realize, you guys, that I have abandonment and attachment issues, but more importantly, attachment issues. I have issues attaching taglines and punchlines, which is why we're doing this whole comedy thing, right? Not proud of it, but owning your mistakes is the first step to recovery, and then admitting that you don't like Sukumar and his geniusness is the second step. You guys, I like Ayana. Sorry, you guys, it's my cat. I'm sorry. Okay. I like puppets and all, but I think that Sesame Street should do a better job of preparing children to be trafficked. You know, some people say early childhood development. I say early childhood disappointment. I think that rather than having, I mean, I'm not wrong. I think that instead of having like C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Like the letter, like today's letter needs to be K for kidnap. And then fucking Big Bird could break out into like a guitar. And then, you know, Elmo could be on drums or something. And then, I don't know. I can't remember some of the characters, so that's not important. But these are just thoughts. It's COVID. I went to, this really did happen too. I went to Arby's the other day and had the Arby's fries with like the roast beef sandwich or whatever. And I got violently ill and I had the curly shits. Sorry, I'm working on not laughing at my own jokes because I'm trying to be strong. This one was be strong. Okay, so this one was a joke that I've done for a while, but I kind of like revised it. So, well, it is partly true. I went to Planned Parenthood to get my party balloon checked out. And the reason why I call it my party balloon is because every time a guy blows in it, I inflate. Thanks, Mike. Most recently, when my legs were up in stirrups, like they often are, the gynecologist asked me how many partners I've had. And apparently my labia looks like the smile of a casehound dog. Hairy, long, and frightening. Yeah, you guys, I think that's all I wanted to work on. Thank you.
Excellent.
Woo!
Woo! Excellent. I'm really pleased by the work that Christina has done. Those are all jokes, my friend. Those aren't just premises. And you know what? You didn't laugh at too many of your jokes, and which was a good thing. And they were funny. Which, you know,
thanks, Mike. First time for everything.
Yeah, in a lot of people's case, I can understand why they don't laugh at their own jokes, but not in yours. Those were funny. And I'm going to go on with our next performer because God forbid I should take time out of everybody else's busy to give you praise for your progress. Our next performer is the man that produces this show. Hey, what a job he does, huh? What job does he do? No, what a job does he do? Welcome, if you will, Chuck. I'm funnier than everybody else. Roy.
Wow.
No, I mean that's really, he really is. He really is. I kid him, but he is. He's funny.
Right. They know, Mike. Everybody knows.
Sure.
And thank you and welcome a new audience attendee, Bill. Glad you could join us and such. You missed some fun comedians. We have more fun comedians coming up. And thank you everybody in the chat for commenting on my haircut. You're right. My hair was getting to be like my sex life. My bangs were too long. There was trim it up. Speaking of trim, Mike, after the show, you'll have to explain Christina's jokes to me. I'm a little belabying to try and get that. I don't know how to say belabor with the word labia in it on the and it has improvisation.
It's okay, Chuck. Not all ad-libs work. Just keep going.
Right. You would know that not all ad-libs work. Right. Open your eyes sometime. Here's what I am trying to work on, everybody, is I'm watching commercials because I try to watch the news. The new Paycheck Protection Act is coming through, and there might even be money for Mike's tremendous salary. They said they had 150 billion left over, and that should get us one show. And so you have to, as a business owner, a human, as a person, try to stay connected to the news in order to know what to do. And then maybe I'm watching too much because first of all, I'd like people in the suburbs, or shall we call them just white people? Can we just say fucking great white people? I don't know what panics you the most, but apparently it's where to put your smartphone while you're driving. Is it going to be in a cup holder? 'Cause I'm watching competitions between cup holder commercials between rival companies who have found that CNN is a place to sell shit tons of cup holding smartphone things. And I know it's tough to get work as an actress or a mid-40s actor, but can you turn them down when the part is like, I'm a lady and I'm just completely inept at where would I put my phone? And these pesky cords. The cords. I don't know how you folks live with all the fucking cords. Here's how some people live. They don't have devices, and that's why we're doing charity events. You cunts. I take it that serious. Like in the middle of a pandemic, some people are like, oh my God, where am I gonna put my cord? Here's who else is fighting. In the middle of the pandemic, we seem to be doing well with charity endeavors, but the professional charities, the ones that advertise on TV, the ones with the puppy, the little puppies with the in the arms of the angel. Well, the puppies are fucked. In the pandemic, people aren't giving to the puppies. People aren't giving to St. Jude's. And so the competition is getting a little dicey and the commercials are stepping up the game. It's starting to be like negative campaigning against each other. Like, I swear I saw one of those little videos where they're like, here are all the puppies and nobody's fed them water. And in the background, you can see a Shriner running away with bowls of water. Because he's like, these puppies, you have to give to the children. And the kids from St. Jude are threatening to register Republican if you don't donate. And now, this is what I want to see. Like, if we're going to step up the game, then let's make it entertaining. You know, let's bring back American Ninja Warrior starring the kids from St. Jude versus the kids from Children's Hospital. You know, like somebody gets research money and the other, that's as far as I want to go with that. So thank you for your time and coming to our show. Here's Michael Langworthy.
Hey, Chuck.
Chuck.
Chuck. So funny. It bothers me. You know, envy's a terrible thing. I'm sorry I have it, but I do. And I don't know what to say. It looks to me like a couple of people who were on the list didn't check in tonight. So there's a pretty good possibility that we've reached the end of the show, unless you have some news for me.
William King, or new
William Klein? I don't know.
Or a guest, our new.
Is he a guest?
You should just say hello.
He's on mute for a minute and let us know, because if you want to do some time, you can.
I just popped in to see you guys.
You just hear see. Well, I will message you later. But I'm glad you purchased the ticket and joined us at this point. But we're at the end of the show, so I will invite you back to another and take care of your ticket. I'll refund that easily.
Yeah, the show starts at 8 o'clock Mountain Time, and boy, would we like to see you back here so you can watch the whole show. We have some really
you have a ticket for next week, so I'm thrilled you'll join us next week. Anybody have one joke left they want to try?
No, I have something that I'm working on, but I don't know if it's, well, and in fact, I know it's not funny yet, but I don't know why I even started doing stand-up, because I don't want anything that comes with celebrity. You know what I mean? I
Right.
love performing on a stage. I really want to, I really want everybody to laugh when I'm on stage, but all the rest of it is just bullshit. And I finally, probably the only reason that I wanted to do stand-up is because I want to talk about the people who are celebrities. Because they're so fucking self-involved. I mean, that's why I don't want to be a celebrity myself. I mean, I don't care about what happened to Amy Adams when she had trouble getting into a restaurant. I don't. I just don't think that's the kind of stuff we should be. We have a pandemic. You just want to go, you want to raise your hand and say, yeah, that's great, Amy. They didn't understand who you were, and so you just had to wait and get in line like everybody else to get into the restaurant. It's funny. I know exactly how you feel, because I was talking about this with a Nigerian woman just today who was squatting in the mud for 7 hours in a line trying to get to the only working spigot in her district so she could get a gallon of dirty water to maybe cook some rice and perhaps keep her children from starving. She felt exactly the same way. So inconvenient. This is so inconvenient. I've got a child with a distended belly, and here I am squatting in the mud. Oh my God. Can you believe it? So I'm just, these are the things that I want to do. I don't care. I don't care if Chris Pine can do a magic trick. Come on, man. I had an uncle who was a drunk, and he could pull a quarter out of my nose. It's not a what I'm saying. He was an alcoholic. Always smelled of booze. And he goes, "Oh, what's this in your ear, Mike?" "Oh, is it a quarter, Uncle Don?" "Yeah." "Done a quarter the last 1,000 times you thought you were funny doing it. So make a quarter this time." "Oh, ooh, okay. Somebody thinks he's a little above himself." "No, I don't. I just think I don't have an IQ of 7. Not entertaining. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Okay, Uncle Don? Since you've been drinking 24/7 for the last 40 years, why don't you take out your liver and hammer a nail with it? That'll impress somebody." Do something you're good at, okay? Puke blood because you've got an That's what makes a family gathering really, really touching. You remember yourselves for that. So I'm just saying that these are, things that bother me. They don't have to bother everybody. I'm not saying everybody has to feel, ripped off. The only guy that I like who's a celebrity on television is on talk shows and shit is Robert De Niro. Aside from being the greatest actor of our generation or whatever, 60 years, he sits in there and you ask him a question, he goes, "Yeah." Ask him another question, he goes, "No." He doesn't chat, and he doesn't look like anything he has to say has any value. And unless you talk about politics, he says, "Trump's an asshole. Trump's a fucking asshole." And I like that because I don't have anything, I'm just a guy who happens to have this gift for acting. And then he sits back, and because he's Robert De Niro, all these other dipshit C-level celebrities try to imitate him. Like he's never seen that before. Yeah, just, oh really? Huh, that's crazy. I sounded like that in Heat, did I? Huh, that's crazy. Smile on his face when he's doing it. You see the smile on his face? It's just like, this guy is such a fucking moron. It's great. It's like, what do you tell people about acting? You said, I tell them, try and be honest when you're on stage. Hear the contempt in his voice. Like, yeah, why don't you ask me something like, I don't know, where'd you go to high school? Anything, just something that actually relates to my life instead of some bullshit, vision of celebrity because you're supposed to, yeah, you're the greatest actor in the world. No, my parents were communists and I had a dysfunctional childhood and therefore I have a easy time pretending I'm somebody else. That's who I am. Next question. Sorry, I get a little hot with people because there's things that annoy me. That's all I'm saying.
There.
You know, Chuck does a whole bit about Beyonce. You know, and she's she's good for business. She's good for.
She's the fucking best. Sorry, I love her.
Alex,
my girl.
That came out of left field coming from you. I got to tell you. Liking Beyonce is whoa, what? She's a great performer. She's a great performer. Show me your PhD in political science, then tell me how to run the country. That's what I'm saying.
The disrespect, I can't.
Right.
The disrespect.
Not yours. I don't mean you. I meant her.
Towards her, yeah, it's disrespectful.
Yeah,
I know it's a joke. You're joking. I get it.
Hey, Alex, I don't think he's heard about the Beehive.
Cross the line of
Did you
prejudice.
school him on the Beehive?
Yeah.
What? What is
Oh, the
it?
Beehive. Sorry, Beyonce has very loyal fans, so.
No, it's all right. And
Yeah.
she should have loyal fans. She should have loyal fans. Although I'm not sure if you like it, you should have put a ring on it. Would mean. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Just know that Mike's family, you know, drunks as they are charitable and founders of one of the greatest charities I've ever participated in. It's called the Walk for Gout, a really good charity, not a long walk.
Really, we wanted to call it the Hobble for Gout.
Right.
Marketing team come in and they said, you know, Hobble for Gout, no, sounds a little bit too much like that year the Boston Marathon blew up. So I don't want to do that. So we went with it's the Walk for Gout. And the reason is gout is a rich man's disease. And why shouldn't we have a charity? Huh?
Right.
Why shouldn't we have a charity? Just because we eat too much rich food because we're wealthy. We deserve sympathy, just like anybody else.
The more money you raise, the less you have to walk.
If the trajectory remains the way it is, in 3 years, no one will ever have to take another step. And all going into a trust fund delivered out. You have to. The only thing that's keeping the Trump family from participating in the payout is that you have to release your tax records and prove that you make a certain amount of money before you can.
Right. One small step for the cure.
Yes. One giant limp for mankind.
Mike, we've had a super fun show today. Lots of great comedians.
Sorry, I went off on a tangent there, Chuck. That was almost long enough to be an introduction. Am I right?
Hello. Why don't you start introducing next week? And as soon as you're done, we'll be able to go live. And, I
think what you're saying there is that I take too long to introduce people.
No, I said it once, and then now it's become a sticking point. It's very fun.
No, it's fine. It's really good. I like to be abused by people. That's all right. It's okay. Everybody, I'm sure you all love the show. We had lovely, lovely people on the show. Let me just go through the list today. We had Alex Vo, Mikey Wow, Paula Maddox, Jeffrey Burden. It's like, hold your applause till the end.
Oh, sorry.
Do that. God. Christina Clayman, Sukumar, Vijay Raghavan. Yeah, I did it. And Chuck Roy, and a special thanks to Jessica. Hey, how do you pronounce your last name? Kybell?
Kybell, right? Yep.
Jessica
Jessica,
Kybell.
thanks for joining us. Megan Cole, thanks for joining us. And William, thanks for joining us. Coolest backdrop ever, William. I'm going to email you to figure out how you did that. That looks really cool.
Hello, William. This is the first I've seen you.
Right, dude, he's got going on there. It's just-
Yeah, he does. That's. Oh
Cool.
my God. Look what's going on in the background there. It's all.
Yeah, how does he do that?
Right, wow, now you're in like super.
Ooh, hello. Hello.
That's really
We're in the
fun.
bathroom.
Genius.
It's
You've
the
been looking.
Zoom
You don't
Inception.
call him after the show and find out how he did that. You know?
Right, yeah, that is terrific.
I'm gonna share all my secrets.
Well, well
I
done.
apologize on behalf of all the insensitive men in the world.
It's interesting how he does that. I don't know how he does
Of Beyonce, because I know she's a genius. I do. I'm
She is a genius. Put some respect on her name.
agreeing with you. Stop drilling. You struck oil, buddy.
I adore
She is a
you.
genius. And she's got the good hair. Not good, not as good as Jenny's, but it's good hair. And Jay-Z, come on. He's fantastic too. So there you
Sure.
go. Beyonce is
Mike,
the
I was like, sure.
Mike, there'll be no debate. Beyonce is amazing.
I'm agreeing with him. How can I, you don't debate me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to heckle your set. I'm sorry.
Oh, you know what, Alex? I'm glad that you did that because we've been booking just a few too many comics and now we've got some decisions to make. I'm kidding, come on. I would never keep somebody on.
It was worth it if I was blacklisted from comedy because of Beyonce.
Yeah, no, you're.
He just ridicules me the entire time I'm on these shows and he's here every week. Sure, it's his show, but still. All right, anyway, this was lovely. Stacy, thank you for coming and giving us some insight into Elevating Connections. Donate to Magic Moments. You can find it at magicmoments.org online, and Comedy 101 you can find online. And this has been lovely. So I guess, Chuck, now it's time to say goodbye. Sleep tight. Sleep tight.
Thank you, Mike,
Bye,
and everybody
Mike.
else. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.